Yo Rana, and welcome to FM Tahiti. I hope you're doing well. Not much time has passed since the last match in the last video. In fact, I've just done the press conference and that's it. That's it really. So what I want to show you is the Cull. We're going to get rid of some of these players. They're going to go. I don't know why they're all sorted like this. We need to freshen up the squad. So I'm going to go through and be ruthless. I'm going to go through some of the thinking for this as well. Identify a few key players, identify some deadwood, and really try and push on for next season. We're going to keep probably the long ball tactic if we can, because actually towards the last few matches, Kalai was killing it goal-wise. He was playing really well. So you want to kind of build on that. So I'm going to do the Cull, come back for the transfers. Video after is probably going to be an international video, and then we'll have another kind of international video for the start of the season, because that's when the Atoll Championship, the kind of Polynesian island internationals start right at the beginning of the season. So it's going to be me calling up players from the humpbacks and crippling them at the start of the season rather than the other way around, hopefully, which is what we've experienced in the past. Before we go any further, and before I show you the Cull and go through all these poor players, there are some you can probably identify if you're watching who are numbered. I just want to say thank you to the Northman. So Paul the Northman, you can also find him on the kind of Dictate the Game podcast, but he's got a YouTube channel, very good YouTube channel. You can follow his exploits. I was going to say with Brentford, but he's not with Brentford anymore. It's a bit of a spoiler if you've not got that far, but he's doing well. He's doing well. I just want to say thank you because he shared some of my stuff recently, gave me a bit of advice. Very nice guy, so have a look at his stuff if you've not already. If you've suddenly subscribed, started watching my stuff because of what he shared, thank you very much. Make sure you're obviously watching and liking his videos, but do leave me a comment just to say hello. It'd be nice to chat with you. I'd also like to give a shout out as well to Piercy Plays. So Piercy Plays has got a YouTube channel, you can see some of his stuff on there, but he's mainly blogging at the moment at piercyplays.com. Really detailed blog, very frequently updated. It's got a very Scottish feel at the moment, but there's lots of stuff on there about data as well if you're a super nerd like me, so give that a go. But I just wanted to give them a shout out before I went further on, because I kind of appreciate they've been a good source of advice and content for me to kind of be inspired by and watch, because you need to watch some of the stuff as well. You can't just be playing your own games. And they've been really helpful. They share my stuff, I like to share theirs back. It's a nice community, so do have a look at that. But that's the niceness of it. Let's start kicking players out. I say kicking them out, they may be unemployed, but they're going to be unemployed on a tropical island in the middle of French Polynesia, and I would take that right now. It's been a tough week of work. I would take unemployment on a tropical island without any shadow of a doubt. So we've got quite a big team. Finance-wise, and if you really love the finance stuff, look at the Northman's videos on how tight a rein he keeps on the financial stuff, or tries to. Our wage budget's 16 grand per week. We're currently spending about 8. With the players that are potentially leaving, so we've not renewed contracts, down by 5.5. Next season's wage budget is 8. Or just under 9 actually, because of this. We've no other sources of cash, there's no other money coming into us. The league does have point deductions, it's a very real thing. Other teams like Papite had that happen to them and it destroyed them, and now they've been relegated. It took a little while, but they've gone. So we can't be spending all of this. We need to get this down even further if we can, or if we are going to spend close to 8, we need to make sure all of that's useful money. The other problem we have is we don't really have a youth intake, so we can't rely on that. But I'm thinking of putting together a particularly lean squad and then adding depth. I think we have to go lean because we are down as being insecure, and we've got no kind of outlet for cash coming up. So it's a bit worrying, but that's part of the reason for doing it. We've got this kind of FMTTV. You can download this on Steam if you really want to, just make your own. There's nothing special about this. Training rating, average rating, some of the mental stats that I love. Aggression in particular. Standard stuff here. And then I've got the game win percentage. So what the game win percentage is. Or ratio, it says there on the percentage. And the points per game they get on average. And how many kind of mistakes they've made leading to a goal. Against us, essentially. Just because I want to see if anything pops out here. So, like, for example, goals leading to a mistake. There's only a few players who've made that kind of mistake. And you've got a striker, left winger, midfielder. Is that everyone? Yeah, so it's not actually any of the defenders. These are other people who probably got involved in a defensive situation who've not done as well as they should done. So no big issues. There's no one with like 5 or anything like that. There's just a few here and there. And points per game, this can be really badly skewed depending on the situation. So there are some players, let's have a look. Top here we've got Michael Bauman and Ben Thomas. And you notice their appearances, they've only got a handful. They've got 14 appearances, including sub-appearances between them. In fact, over half of their appearances are sub-appearances. Because they're essentially backups or youth players, they get put on when we're already winning and winning comfortably, usually, which is why they've got this skewed points per game. So it's not the best metric to use, but it does help point out potentially the other end of the scale. So players who've got really low ones are ones that maybe we want to avoid. But we won't use that alone. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to go to the contract view. And we're going to see whose contract's running up. And then we're going to be brutal. So, Mikael Muller, utility man at the back. Not got a particularly good rating. It's getting old. Whilst he's got some good mental attributes, they're not amazing. I'm probably going to let him go. Minan, who is our right-hand midfielder, 30. Again, he's not getting any better. If we look at how he's actually done, he's barely played this season. We've barely needed him. We've had other options that we've been able to use, or Frey's been able to play most of the matches. He's going to go. I can't really justify keeping hold of a backup player who's on £425 per week. He's already unhappy anyway. So if he's going to pop, I reckon. Got Jean-Marc Chabert. We gave him a few opportunities. 29, so he should kind of be in his peak. But if we look non-competitive, I'm certain I played him in a match. I know what happened. That was when I had that issue when I spilt tea on the plug. So we had to redo those matches, so he didn't actually even get on from the subs bench for that. So he's not played at all this season. He wasn't prolific last season, even though he didn't get much of a chance. So he's going to go. Got a soft spot for him because he helped get us promoted, but that's 130 shaved off the wage right there. Jean-Baptiste Moreau, interesting, he's on £450 per week. He is better than his attributes suggest. I might try and get his contract down a bit. So he's played a little bit. He's a good kind of rotation player to have. He had an amazing season last season. We've not used him as much this season because we've got Kerr. There's more competition, basically. So if I can get his wages down, then we'll keep him. But I really want to get him down to about £200, which is a big wage reduction. So he's probably going to go, but not because we want him to go, but just because he's going to have to. Nicholas Inai. Or Inal. Inai? The font's not great, is it? We signed him thinking he was going to be a really good option for us on the left. He's got some interesting player traits. But if we look at how much he's actually played, he's not played a single match for us at all. He has been an absolute waste of money. £400 per week for doing nothing. And actually he's got good kind of pedigree. He's played for some good teams recently. But he's going to have to go. It's another 400 gone. Maggie, I've got a soft spot for. He's played quite well for us in the past, but he's not particularly well rated. I'm keeping him partly, or I want to keep him because he's from Gambier side, but attributes are great. His average rating is actually okay. He has played a few competitions. I might try and keep him if I can get this wage down a bit. He's not a terrible backup. Even though his attributes still look fantastic, he can do the job for us. So far we've got 2 we might keep if we can get their wages down. Pujol is going. He's barely played, and we've got other keeper options that are potentially better than him. He's not terrible. He's just not first choice. That's 110 gone. Wallace. Michael Wallace, the legend that he is. So he's played a lot for us, whether it's the Humpbacks or here. 11 goals in about 21 appearances. 21 appearances? Yeah, 21 overall. An extra couple in the cup if we're counting that. He's not an amazing goal scorer, but he has done the job for us. He had a few influential matches. If we can get his wage down a tad, I say keep him. Tia Huet, he is decent attribute-wise. I mean, I say decent, you know what I mean. He's not played a huge amount for us this season. Let's have a look. Not played a huge amount for us, but he is on £400 per week. I'm going to let him go. We can do better. Lenzini is not particularly great. He's only on £100 per week. 3 sub-appearances. Happily let him go. Takaro Terra's won him. They can have him. We've got Robert Marama. Right-sided defence. £160 per week. Barely played. He's got 2 Mutiny Trophy appearances. He's going to go as well, because we've also got Twig and people like that who can play as right back. So Twig and Lamb can also play in the right if we need them to. And we've got Bon who can play there. Ben Thomas, playing the left, 110. Not fantastic, but I might keep him just because left-sided players are a little bit hard to come by. He's played a few. We might just keep him for the backup, essentially. For that extra support. Who have we got next? Felice Falapapalangi. I'm obviously going to offer a new contract to. He is exactly what we need for the team. His attributes aren't fantastic, but his name is. And I'm willing to pay £110 a week just so I can occasionally say Felice Falapapalanga. Papalangi. My apologies, Felice. Michael Bauman is the last one, I think, who's running out. Plays on the left. We've got better options on the left, or options with more potential. We've got Manuel, and we've got Joris Renard, who can play on the left there as well. So we're going to get rid of them. So, Bauman, Marama, Lenzini, Hewitt, Pujol, Inai, Moreau, not Moreau, Chabert, Minan, Muller. We're going to get rid of. That is quite, look at this, 130, 555, 680, 1080, 1190, 1590, 1690, 1850, 2040. Essentially, we can get rid of in one clean sweep. That's a decent saving, I think. Set for release there. I'll do the contract offers now as well, just so you can see. He wants backup. None of this wage rise business. I'll give him a bit more if he ever actually appears. He's probably not going to. He wants £130. He doesn't want to talk to us, so away he goes. I realised I said I was going to keep him, but he's not going to accept. It's only a £10 wage reduction. He's never played. Away he goes. Got a backup keeper, it's fine. We got Ben Thomas. Offer him something. Needs to be a backup. It's on 110. Give him this. 1 more year. Fine. He knows what's going on. He knows what happened to Felice. I don't know if the microphone's going to buzz, but there is a mosquito pretty much trying to land on it every second. Because it's totally tropical here in Birmingham. Who else are we going for? Maggie. Didn't accidentally get rid of Maggie, did I? Maggie is willing to take a wage reduction, and I will accept that. See, he is a team player. He gets to stay for that. So I'm getting really distracted by this mosquito just bouncing off my head every other second. And Moreau. Moreau, what was he on again? 450. Wow. he knows what's going on as well. Maybe that's what's happened. Maybe by just being ruthless with Feliz and the rest, he understands he needs to take a cut. So he was on 450. I said I wanted to get him down to about 200 or 250. Let's try. There we go. 250 carved off as well. So that's closer to $2,500 that we've saved there. I think I've missed anyone else, have I? Let's see if it's updated that in the finances. It has a little bit. Yep. Some of that's updated there. So we've cut down the wage budget. So we're half of our next season's wage budget. If we look at the squad again. Pujol and whatever is going. Let's just stick them into the under 23s. Anyone we know is not coming back, let's just send on their way into the under 23s so they're out of our hair. Michael Wallace, did I offer him a contract? I don't think I did. I might have also told him he was going. 140, so he's taking a wage reduction. Yeah, get in. I'm not even going to negotiate that one down because I like him. I appreciate all the players who've realised that if they don't sign a reduced deal, they're just going to have no job. That's what I like. Players who think their position is under threat. Because it is. Horribly. So this is what we've got in terms of the first teamers left. We're going to need a backup keeper, which we've got. I'll show you the under 23s in a second. We've got 3 players who can play on the right, so if someone better comes along, we might bring them in. But Bon is good. Twig can play in there. In terms of the left, we've got Lamb and Twig, and Thomas if we need to. And then in the middle, we've got Sabua, Stroud, and Maggie. I'd maybe like to bring in another central defender, but we'll have a look and see what we've got in the 23s in a sec. On the right, we've just got Frey, so we could do with a backup right winger. We've got Moreau, Kaiser, Spearling, and Kerr in the centre, which I think is enough. They're all good. I'm happy with all of them. On the left, we've got Manuel, who is awesome for us. Double O-League winner. Not bad. How old is he again? 25? We've got Renard, who's also quite good. Got some promise. Tamangara, Wallace and Kalai up front. So maybe another striker, a right winger, a defender and a keeper, depending on what we've got in the 23s. In the under 23s, we've got 2 keepers. So we've got Daniel Holt and we've got Porter Spiekerman. In fact, let's look at the contracts here as well, just see if there's anyone else who either is going or we need to worry about. So all of these ones are going. No, Holt is fine there contract-wise. Back we go. Sorry, this is probably going to be a really long episode rather than what I wanted. So Holt moved to senior squad. That's the keeper thing dealt with. There's no one else in the under 23s. That is it. So what we're looking for then is going to be central defender, right winger, maybe a striker. So we can bring in 3 players and cover 3 positions and we'll be okay. We've got depth everywhere else, really. Got some decent players. Kalai came into his own towards the end, so striker-wise I'm feeling reasonably confident. I might do a bit more digging around so I can go like to the Tahiti attack version. Let's look at things like shots on target percentage. Kalai 72%. Shots on target per 90 minutes. Kalai and Wallace up there. Number of offsides. Kalai is also up there, but that's because of the way the kind of long ball works. Chances created per 90. None of the strikers are there. Minutes per goal. Kalai's got 111 minutes per goal. And Wallace and Tamangara could be slightly better, but we have been spoiled by some of the players we've had in the past. Let's go back to this one, that's fine. So I'll pause there for a second. I'm going to go away and take a look and see what players there are around. So again, we've not gone very far after that little transition there, and I have made a few signings. I'll show you what they look like because, to be honest, these are probably going to be all of the signings. Do stick around just in case there are any I add on in a later video to see who else there is, if there's any kind of youth players that appear. But looking at the transfers we've got in, bringing in a no-nonsense centre-back, cover on the right wing, 2 youth prospects for the kind of depth, and this guy here is going to be a player director of football, so I'll just show you them. So we've got Kalisitiani Halafuka. That's exactly how that's pronounced. Doesn't necessarily look amazing. We've got him on trial currently until it goes through. Played for the Humpbacks. They released him, so we picked him. He's played for Moria before that, so he's good level of experience, good level of caps. He's rated, I think, as being much better than our next best. Defender, so he should be an upgrade. He is an expensive upgrade though. I think it's going to cost about £600 a week. So we've shifted a lot of the wage budget, but then spent. He's already big wage spend, but he was such a big improvement potentially on that centre of defence position that we thought, do it. To cover the right, we've got Frederic Marina, who doesn't look fantastic, but he's a youth product of Huheen, who have invested in their youth as far as I can tell. So he's got some potential, he's got some of the kind of physical attributes there. He's not too far off some key ones like crossing and passing technique for us. High aggression, which is what I like. That's what I look for. And the expectation is he might pop in and cover on the right a little bit, but nothing too special. We've got Christophe Renault, who is interesting. Some interesting attributes that seem to be quite high. Acceleration, pace, aggression, bravery, reasonably high. Same with determination and finishing. He's only 14, so we're paying about £100 per week. He'll either get better or he will be interesting cover. If he doesn't do anything, that's fine, because we've also got Bilal Delabel. Again, a similar kind of picture, not as aggressive, but he's only 16. And nothing special going on with his turns. So he could be a bit of a punt, but we've got 3 good strikers, or 3 strikers I'm reasonably confident in, and then these 2 youth backup ones. And then David Hubert, who is coming in as a right winger for us as cover as well. I think he'll be doing more cover than that youth one, Marino, that we're bringing in. You look at his attributes, his technical ones are good, his mental ones are pretty decent, and he's going to be our director of football. So for, I think it's £140 with shirt on here. Show the contract offer. Oh no, £170. He will be our director of football and our backup right winger, and he looks technically good. Bring him on towards the end of the match when people are tired anyway, and his lack of pace, acceleration shouldn't be as big an issue. So he should do alright. So I'm going to go forwards. Next episode's probably going to be an international one, and then we'll come back for the season after that. If there's any more sort of signings, I will let you know. But thanks very much for watching. As always, please like, please subscribe, please chat to me in the comments, or come and find me on Twitter, or read my stuff on Dictate the Game. Go see The Northman on YouTube and pscplays.com for the PSC Players blog as well, which I highly recommend. And I will see you later on.